What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are checking out an affordable dash camera from REDTIGER. The one that we have here today it's called the F7NT Touch. So this is a dual channel dash camera system. That means that we have one camera that records in front of the vehicle. So this is the main unit that records in front of the vehicle. This one also records in crisp 4K, and then we have another camera that records behind the vehicle. So you'd mount this on the rear window in your car, and this one records behind the vehicle. So you're basically covered in the front and of course in the back. This dash camera also features 2.4 GHz and 5.8 GHz Wi-Fi bands, and that means that you're going to be able to connect to the camera with your smartphone, of course through the REDTIGER app, and download those recordings or just watch them from the camera right through your phone. Of course, you can download them to your phone. You can also change settings from the app, but you can also do that from the actual dash camera. So the screen that we have on the back here, it's also a touch screen. I guess that's why the name touch, because the rear screen here is a touch screen. Aside from that, we also have a GPS unit, so the camera will be able to monitor your speed, and that speed can show in those recordings that you're doing. And of course, you can turn that on or off from the app. It is entirely up to you, and it's also going to be able to show the location in those recordings as well. With that being said, let me show you what comes in the box with this, and then we'll go on and I'll show you some sample recordings that I've done during the day and of course at night. Alright, so in the box you're going to find everything you need for the installation. Of course, we're going to find our main unit. We also have this suction cup that also has the GPS mount on it. We have our rear camera that also has a very long cable. We have our power cable. So this basically goes in the cigarette lighter port in your vehicle, but you can also get a hardwiring kit for the camera. This is the hardwiring kit. So basically you would install this to that fuse box that you have inside your vehicle. And if you do install this, you're going to be able to take advantage of the parking monitor features. If you don't install this and you just use this cable, you don't have access to the parking monitor features. So it really depends on your needs. I know that most people will just go the easy way and install it with this. Of course, you're gonna find the user manual. There is also a user manual for that hardwiring kit. We have a few stickers. You basically put this on the windshield or that rear window, and then you stick the cameras to that. We have a couple of these stickers. We have these little clips. You basically mount the cable through these clips, but it really depends on the car that you're installing this. With most cars, you're not even gonna need this. You just hide that cable somewhere around there. So basically in the box, you're gonna find everything you need, but the installation, it's literally gonna take you like 5 minutes. Taking a quick look at our camera, well, the camera itself is fairly small, so you barely see it from outside the vehicle. On the front here, we have the lens at the top, and at the bottom we have some holes so the camera doesn't overheat. Of course, at the top there we have the port that you'd connect the rear camera and the USB-C charging port. On one side we have our power button and the slot for the SD card. This particular one came with a 64 gig SD card. I believe that this can take SD cards up to 256 gigs, or at least that's what I've seen in one of those user manuals. On the other side we have a couple of buttons, and that's pretty much it for the camera. The screen here is a touch screen, as I mentioned earlier, and you can basically change any settings for the camera from that touch screen. But you basically set up the camera the first day you get it, and then you kind of forget about it if something until something happens. Hopefully nothing ever happens and you don't actually have to see that footage. But if you need to change anything, you can change it from the screen there or from the REDTIGER app. Through the REDTIGER app, you can view those video files that you have saved on the camera. You can download them to your phone, you can delete them, and of course the camera will also log certain video files in. So let's say that you suddenly brake, or if someone bumps into your car, basically the camera will sense that and it will lock that particular file so it doesn't get overwritten if you keep recording. So if the car stays on and the camera keeps recording and recording, basically when it reaches the end of the SD card, when the SD card is full, it will start overwriting the oldest files. But if something does happen and you do get into an accident, or you brake suddenly, or someone bumps into your car, the camera will sense that and it will basically lock those video files in place so they cannot be erased if the camera continues to record. Alright, and next we're gonna move on and check out some sample recordings that I've done with the main unit and of course the rear unit during the day. Keep in mind that the recordings done with the main unit were done in 4K and the recordings done with the rear camera were done in 1080p. You can clearly see the license plates that were recorded with the front camera because of course we have that crisp 4K resolution, and you can still see the license plates recorded by the rear camera, but it will depend how far that vehicle is from you, how the sun is hitting that license plate and so on. So I'm gonna let you watch a couple of minutes of daytime recordings and then I'll come back and we'll move on and check out some nighttime recordings. Alright, and we are moving on to another quick recording, but for this recording I'm also talking because I wanted to show you how the internal microphone inside this dash camera would capture sound, because sound is also quite important depending what's happening in the car, if there is an accident or anything like that. So with the front camera, of course, we are recording in 4K, and with the rear camera we are recording in 1080p. We also have a super sunny day here, and as you can see for yourself, I am enjoying a mountain drive. And as you're able to see for yourself, the footage from the main camera is nice and crisp. You can clearly see those license plates for the vehicles around you. And the same kind of goes for the rear camera, but it depends how far those vehicles are, how the light hits those license plates and so on. Next, we are moving on and checking out some nighttime recordings. And for nighttime recordings, I have to say I was quite impressed to see how well this actually does on a super dark road. Way better than I was expecting. Now, for license plates at dark, it really depends how the headlights hit those license plates. Some you can see easily, some you don't see as well. It really depends how the lights hit those license plates and how the reflection is. So of course I'm going to show you footage from the main unit and the rear unit. So let's check those out and I will be right back. And as you've seen for yourself, and as I said a bit earlier, I was quite surprised by how well the recordings at night look from the main camera. But quite surprised how well this actually does at night, because this is an affordable dash camera. For the price, I don't think you can go wrong with this. If you're looking for an affordable dash camera that has great video quality, look no further, because this is definitely one to get. As always, there will be some links in the video's description so you can check this out as well. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll try to answer whatever questions you may have. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one.